Ladies and gentlemen, after all the ups and downs this year, the Saints have a serious chance to make the playoffs. Plus, a former Raiders player got the game ball against the Buccaneers, and Saints fans are suddenly changing their tune on quarterback Derek Carr. There have been some ups and downs all year for the New Orleans Saints. It got so bad that Saints fans were booing their own quarterback against the Carolina Panthers.
Stop that play. Exactly. The fans here are booing.
Head coach Dennis Allen also grew frustrated with Saints fans for pinning all the offensive problems all on quarterback Derek Carr.
I don't know if I'm getting questions about the quarterback this week, but I thought the quarterback played really well. We'll make sure we get that on record. I just think it's unfair. My personal opinion, when you play that position, you're going to get your fair share of criticism. And, you know, when somebody plays really good, I think we need to make sure we recognize that he played well.
You couldn't blame the fans, though, because you had players themselves like Michael Thomas stoking the flames on social media, making tweets about the performance of the quarterback while he sits on IR. This was the activity that Michael Thomas chose to do when he wasn't getting into little fights with construction workers.
More time after you threaten me? No, people are going to have to know like what kind of person you are, because that's wrong. You don't go around doing I don't care who you are.
Even after wins, reporters would try to stoke the flames of player drama.
You don't think that conflict's like maybe an issue though?
Brother, I'm not trying to be negative with you anymore. I'm sorry.
But now things have suddenly changed and the Saints are going in the right direction, winning 3 of their last 4 games, falling only to the Los Angeles Rams in prime time. Derek Carr is trending upward right now. Could it be the fact that he is just getting healthier now after dealing with several injuries throughout the season?
Derek Carr, who's been through a litany of injuries this year, when we asked him, he was blunt, guys, where he said, this is the worst I've felt during a season. And he went through the list of injuries he's fought through. 2 concussions, 3 broken ribs, early right shoulder, and a foot injury. Hasn't missed a game.
Or could it be the chemistry is just building with certain players? They're now all on the same page and no longer having miscommunication issues like they did all season long. But now you have players singing Derek Carr's praises like Demario Davis, the linebacker.
Football to be played, and I'm just proud of this guy right here. If you look the last 4 weeks, I bet he's the hottest quarterback in the red zone. I mean, he's just dialing it up. We get in situational football, man, he's turning it up for us. And, man, when you got a quarterback playing at that level, we're going to be okay. So I'm excited.
And Juwan Johnson, the tight end who was finally clicking with Derek Carr in this past game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This guy is saying they believe in their quarterback.
What's the level of faith you guys have in your quarterback?
Just talking about the Detroit game, you know, I had 2 drops in that game. So knowing that, you know, I wasn't there to help him out and him responding the way he did in that second half was great. You know, we have a lot of confidence in Derek. We never lost confidence in him. He's battling through, you know, so many injuries, but he's such a warrior, such a passionate guy for the team, such a passionate guy, such a great leader. And I think that's something that, you know, we needed. You know, no matter the boos or whatever the case is, he's always been steadfast. He's always been even keeled the whole time, and he never let anything bother him. And that's what you need from your quarterback. No matter the circumstance, he's always got it done.
There are so many former Raiders on the New Orleans Saints in 2023. From the head coach Dennis Allen, who coached the Raiders in 2012, to Foster Moreau, the former tight end of the Raiders, along with Lynn Bowden Jr., a wide receiver drafted by the Raiders in 2020. But there is also a former first-round pick of the Raiders who's primarily been on the practice squad for the Saints this year, and that is none other than Johnathan Abram, known famously for his salmon incident during Hard Knocks.
Seared salmon or seared salmon?
Salmon.
Salmon?
Salmon.
Salmon or salmon?
Bruh, just because you a big football player from Mississippi don't mean you can't mispronounce a word.
It's like saying tomato.
This guy was drafted by the Raiders and John Gruden in 2019. He was always very athletic, but due to coaching changes, injuries, and also some issues in coverage, Johnathan Abram never quite lived up to the hype of a first-round pick. He likely knew he was on the outs with the Josh McDaniels regime, and he even got a little feisty in press conferences when he was asked about his 5th-year option being declined.
Feel confident in yourself for this season?
I mean, why wouldn't I? I mean, I put the work in just like everybody else. So the confidence comes from getting out there, getting the reps, and constantly just building things, you know, not what the media says.
But now number 24 is not in the silver and black, but in the black and gold. And suddenly, due to injuries, he's gotten an opportunity and seized every moment. In this game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Johnathan Abram forced 2 turnovers, getting an interception on Baker Mayfield in a critical moment of the game, and also forced a fumble. Derek Carr was happy for Abram in the press conference after the game and talked about how he has changed so much off the field.
I was so happy. We obviously were together, with the Raiders, and I've seen his development, I've seen his growth, and I'm more proud of who he's become off the field and the type of man he's become, the type of father he wants to be. As much as growth as he's made on the field, off the field, he's done even better. And I'm so proud of that because he's worked hard at it. I thank God for him because he's a great teammate. Even though on the scout team sometimes he's a saboteur, and it is what it is because that's John, but when he got his chance, he made a lot of great plays.
Johnathan Abram was always very athletic with the Raiders, but he was kind of a wild guy, and now suddenly it seems like he's really matured.
I'm gradually growing as a player, and I think the only way that you have any growth in life is you have to put the time and effort in. So, that's kind of why, I just kind of prepare the same because I never know, or anybody never knows when your moment is going to come. Life is like a learning curve. You kind of have to learn on the go. Kind of why they give us the Bible, because nothing in life has ever happened that hasn't happened. There's nothing new that's done. It's just a difference in time and difference in circumstances or perspective. And so, I just study the Bible and, just like I do the playbook and, just leaning on God and his word to kind of get me through it.
He played a critical role in the Raiders' victory against the Chiefs in 2020 when he was standing right over Tyreek Hill. As a Saint, Johnathan Abram in 2023 is known as the guy who studies a lot of tape, even though he hasn't gotten that many opportunities on the field. But after this performance, he was given the game ball, and he really believes the Saints have a shot to shock the world.
This game ball is somebody that was on the practice squad, but they come to practice every day. They watching film. If you look at the hours, they putting in the time. They showing up. They being a pro, and when they got their moment, they balled out. Jay Abrams, come break us down. Hey, listen, man, I couldn't do this without you guys, man. Listen, y'all have made this process so much easier and better, because I'm not gonna lie, this is hard. Like he said, this is hard, but we gonna handle it better. And I ain't gonna lie, we ain't done. No. And they better not let us in. Because if we get in, we gonna show how football really is supposed to be played. We gonna play Saints way. So come on, when we get in, come on. Hey, Saints on three, Saints on me. 1, 2, 3, Saints.
On the other side, Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers are a little unhappy after their performance. The offensive tackle of the Bucs, Tristan Wirfs, is upset about Baker Mayfield taking some late hits in this game from Matthew.
Are you tired of kind of what goes on after the whistle there with them?
Yeah, I am. Tyrann Mathieu did this game, and he's chirping at the refs saying he didn't, but that's part of football. Bake's a tough guy, tough bastard.
Yeah. Shake it off.
I don't know. I can't say anything else about it.
Can we start with just how you feel after a really late hit there late in the game?
Yeah, ribs don't feel too great right now. X-rays as of right now are negative, so that's good. Don't have anything right now besides just sore.
I think the second time played the Saints have taken a late shot right at the end of the game.
Yeah, they're going to take hits. They're a physical team. They played that way today. They hit us right in the mouth from the get-go. So not exactly the mentality that we wanted to come out with. Needed to be the more physical team, and we weren't today.
Right now, the Saints have 2 ways to make the playoffs, depending on what happens with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this week. Unfortunately for the Saints, the Bucs are up against the Carolina Panthers, one of the worst teams in the NFL, and they're going to have to rely on the owner, David Tepper, to get his team together. This comes after he threw a drink on a Jaguars fan because he was upset about the game and them talking trash on him. This is going viral right now. This guy is definitely going to be disciplined by the league. If he's throwing a drink on a Jags fan because they're talking trash on his trash team, what would he have done if he was Mark Davis, who was literally getting yelled at by fans? All Mark Davis did was tell him to smarten up. If the David Tepper Carolina Panthers could beat the Buccaneers and the Saints win this next week against the Atlanta Falcons, then the Saints win the division. However, if that's the only way the Saints could win the division is if the Bucs lose, and the only way the Saints could make the wild card, they obviously have to win no matter what. This can happen if the Green Bay Packers lose to the Chicago Bears this week, and also the Seattle Seahawks fall to the Arizona Cardinals. Unfortunately, the Packers-Bears game is going to be at Lambeau Field. Mayfield. But the Bears blew out the Atlanta Falcons this past week. Justin Fields is trending up. It is a possibility they knock out the Green Bay Packers. The Seahawks just lost to the Steelers last week, and the Arizona Cardinals beat the Philadelphia Eagles last week. So there is a huge possibility the Cardinals beat the Seahawks as well. Saints got to win against the Falcons no matter what. The Bucks got to lose to the Panthers for them to win the division. And if the Bucks win, they got to hope that Seattle falls to the Cardinals and the Green Bay Packers fall to the Chicago Bears. Let me know if you think the Saints, after all this BS this entire year, are going to shock the world and make the playoffs. I think it could happen. My name is Wi-Fi Willie. Subscribe to this channel if you want more NFL content from me. Peace out, and I hope you have a good one.